3, 4.
We just live right now, man. It's going down, excited for the season. You know, we coming off a playoff win. I mean, you know, we had a couple wins.
All right. Welcome in, everybody, Brewhoop people. This is Diaries edition of our instant playoff reactions. I'm here with Morgan. We are here to react to Game 2 between the Milwaukee Bucks and the Indiana Pacers in Round 1, Game 2. Bucks down 1-0. Dame comes back, but it's not enough in Game 2. Not enough in Game 2, as they fall by 8 points, 123 to 115. Morgan, as the title suggests for this type of podcast, what is your instant reaction to Game 2?
My instant reaction, with the caveat that apparently I watched the better half. I watched the half where we were treading water, which is really impressive given the consternation on playback. And rightfully so. It is really quite similar to Game 1, and that is the starters, and it's unfortunate because we acquired data in Game 1 about the starters, namely bad. And, we appear to, and I want to do. It'd be good to do like a direct side-by-side comparison of minutes. You know, it seems like they dialed Brook back a full 4 minutes from 20 to 16. Torian roughly even, I believe, from Game 1. Kuzma obviously more because he decided to be our only offensive option in the third quarter. And then obviously the addition of Dame is going to, throw the minutes of Coulter off in general. But, we played 10 guys, and I would say 6 of them were effective in that Giannis, somewhat Dame, Bobby, Gary, Jericho, and AJ Green, and 4 of those guys are on the bench. And I know it's too early to go to just a 6-man rotation. You probably need to sprinkle in the other 4 guys a little bit, but I just feel like we're really hurting ourselves by not homing in on the players that are going to give us the best shot against this particular opponent. And especially the commitments to having multiple of these misfits out on the court at the same time. Like you have Kuzma next to Brook, next to Torian, and we just expect Giannis and Dame to take them to the promised land. And I just, insanity is doing the same thing and expecting a different result. And adjustments were made, obviously, probably at a level that I'm not able to comprehend. But the fact of the matter was that the main takeaway from the first was that the starters were bad and we needed 3-point shooting back. And we got the 3-point shooting back. Great news. But the arguably the thing that we had more control over is the thing that we didn't do. So that's my negative reaction. There were positives, and we'll get to those. But Jackson, what was your Game 2 instant reaction?
I'm going to build off that point, but first I'm going to ask you a question.
Okay.
Outside about the Pacers, outside of just the searing hatred for the man-child of Tyrese Halliburton,
yeah,
what is the first thing you think of when you think of the Indiana Pacers style of play?
A shorter version of the Toronto Raptors. So
Yeah,
it's not a bunch of 6'9" athletes running around. It's a bunch of 6'7" athletes running around.
Yeah, essentially, the bigger point I was trying to get was just the running around. They run.
Yeah. and the fact that they're a little shorter facilitates said running around. It's not big.
Right.
Yeah.
So they run a lot. They run in transition a lot. That was a big problem last year, and we were able to blame it on no Giannis and intermittent Dame and Chris Middleton hobbled on 2 ankles. And the age of the roster with playing Pat Connaughton, Gallinari, Patrick Beverley. Like, we were all blame it on that. But looking at this now, you would think that you would want to at least somewhat match that speed in your starting lineup. Because at least tonight, and the same thing in game 1, they got killed in the first quarter because they are deciding to run a big lineup. Like, if you take Kuz and Prince and like what in 2025, what is their best position to run them at? Taurean Prince is a 3, a small ball 4, Kuzma is a 4. You are effectively playing 2 slower guys out of position against a team that runs and has full of athletes. So that I wholeheartedly agree with you and Jack. We were obviously talking about it ad nauseum during the playback,
Yeah.
but you cannot continue to run guys who, and I don't know the exact numbers for tonight. Let me look at it really quick. What the transition points were.
I think it was 15-5.
Let's see. No,
and that was at points off turnovers. Fast break, we were technically up 9-4, but
so it wasn't as bad as a game 1. But at the end of the day, you have to match their speed and athleticism, and you're not going to be able to completely match it because of just all the guys they have. But you can't keep running Kuz at the 3. You can't keep running Prince at the 2.
And this is when you have AJ Green, Gary Trent Jr., Bobby Portis to an extent, like
Kevin Porter Jr. and Ryan Rollins too. If you want to throw them in there, it's just athletes
who did not play. Like if the cupboard is empty, that's not on Doc. Doc's just doing the best he can. Cupboard is not empty. That was the whole point of going through this whole season, was to show that we have depth. And then for what?
Yeah, this is why you traded away Chris Middleton for an athlete in Kuzma. You traded DeLon Wright for an athlete in Jericho Sims, and you traded away Marjon Beauchamp for another athlete in Kevin Porter Jr. to get faster and younger. You're not using that to that full advantage. Like, if I had to, like, let's say, okay, Jackson, you have to keep Taurean Prince and Kyle Kuzma in the starting lineup. And I know, like gun to my head, Jackson, you have to keep him in the starting lineup.
Yeah.
You're benching Brook, because that was another big thing, because he had some moments. He had 4 blocks, which was great, but you can get 8 points and 4 blocks in 16 minutes off the bench.
Yeah. And you can surround Brook with all the same damn guys. AJ Green, like, you surround Brook with Giannis, Kuz, and TP. What?
You're right. And
What?
it's like, you throw Giannis at the 5, you have Kuzma play the 4, Taurean play the 3, and you have Gary or AJ at the 2 with Dame. That is a much faster lineup. And I'm going, Giannis doesn't like to play center. Well, you know what? If you want that second championship so damn bad, tough cookies. Play center, man. Like, you can't
it's better than not playing defense, which occurred several times on the
Oh my god. But those were my negative reactions. And I think the biggest thing is you have to match speed. There has to be a lineup change. I'll liken it back as a somewhat former hockey fan. When you have a starting goaltender that's not playing well in a playoff series, you go to the backup. The backup may not be as good, but in this case, the backup is probably better.
Yeah.
But you go to the backup to change something up, to get some more juice. And that's what you have to do here if you're Doc. And you're absolutely right. The cupboard is not bare. Again, you're not having to play Patrick Beverley, Danilo Gallinari, and Pat Connaughton. You have capable players. Play them more and play them in the starting lineup. Like, if you don't want to start Gary or AJ, start Ryan Rollins at the 2. He's perfectly capable. You start him when Dame isn't. And that was another thing that pissed me off. Doc went back to the rule of if Damian Lillard is starting, Ryan Rollins does not play. That makes no sense. He is a productive NBA player, plays defense, drives, and can shoot a couple catch and shoot threes. Play him, please.
Bobby had an incredible night.
Yes, positives. Let's look at the positives.
Let's talk about it. I'll just read it off. Bobby put in the work with 32 minutes, which was third on the team after the big 2. 11 for 19 from the field, which included a hot 6 for 11 from 3. He shot second best on the team from 3 after Torian being 2 for 3. Missed his free throw, so demerit there, but pulled in 12 boards. So, in honor of Sixth Man of the Year being announced today, he got his full-on double-double and kept fouls down. A +1 in 32 minutes of work is pretty damn impressive. What were the good things on the floor that you saw from Big Bob?
Big Bob, man, like, we have obviously talked a lot about Bobby Portis. I have talked a lot about Bobby Portis. My first article for Brewhoop was the recommendation to trade Bobby Portis. There's been a lot of talk about Big Bob, and these are the games of like why you still decide to keep him. Whether in this offseason deciding like, okay, let's extend him, or let's just let him pick up the player option. Let's see what goes wrong from there. But these are the games why you keep him. Did a serviceable job on Miles Turner. I think Miles Turner, what did he have in game 1? Like he had, he had 19 in game 1, hit 4 threes. Tonight, he still had
15 points, 6 for 10, only 1 for 3 from deep.
And only grabbed 2 rebounds. Now, granted, Siakam grabbed 11, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
But a slightly worse game for Miles Turner. And I think in that second half, he wasn't as effective because Bobby Portis is a lot more mobile than Brook Lopez. So I think that's the big thing there. So he helped with that. Hit some big shots like throughout. After Kuzma had that little run in the third quarter, he hit some big shots. Hit some big shots in the fourth quarter to kind of bring it within reach.
Yeah,
just
and I think even his
consummate playoff performer.
Just to highlight that, I mean, the Bucks did. What were they? They went on a 13-point run at one point, brought the game within 2. They've summarily kind of slammed the door shut on themselves after that, but. Better to have loved than lost. Other things that I'll highlight in the positive ledger, and then I'll hand it over if you have more positives. Ball movement, as shown by partly by assists. Obviously, that's also indexing shot making, but Bucks able to get that number back up to a much healthier 26. Dame being a big part of that with 7 in his return. Giannis also septupled his assist number from game 1, going from 1 to 7, and had I'm thinking of that one in particular near the end where he found Bobby for the 3. I think that just gives the Bucks and then gives Giannis more dimensionality that really pays off in terms of offensive performance, and want to give them their flowers for that. And then, I think that where we saw the athleticism in the space was maybe a little bit more in the half-court offense tonight. There were some, whether it was rebounding or just Halliburton seeming to have, just acres of space. They did tighten up a little bit in transition. So it seems like I would guess that was an emphasis simply because it was so bad in game 1. So it's the classic, when you're when you're coaching tennis, as I'm sure often happens to you, a relatable metaphor, you tell the kid, like, hey, you're not moving your feet. You should move your feet. And then they move their feet and do nothing else. So at least, at least they stopped it in transition, even if they hemorrhaged negatives elsewhere. Any flowers that you want to put onto the Bucks?
Yeah, I'll just build off just for those who are wondering that fast break thing. Yeah, the Bucks were led in fast break tonight, 19-4. Just a reminder, Pacers had 22 fast break points in game 1.
Yeah,
and were held to 4 in game 2. So that's a big positive on that end. Honestly, I will say I joked in our chat that I'm like, oh yeah, the Damian Lillard 40 piece in Indiana over Tyrese Halliburton was going to be cinema. That obviously did not happen. And I probably figured that wasn't going to happen. But let a man dream. I said this near the end of the playback, and it was basically the fact that the Bucks were within 2 points and Dame shot 4 for 13 in this game is heavily encouraging. Like, if he'll have another game. When is game?
2 days until Friday. Yeah,
It's Friday, so he'll have another 2 days to rest, recover, ramp himself up. If we can get an efficient Dame for game 3, along with, I don't think you need another 28 from Bobby Portis. You get like 10 or 15 from Bobby Portis. Get, like I said, 8 to 12 from Kuzma, and then you get more out of Gary Trent, who had 4 points. But yeah, I think Damian Lillard, he did not look slow. That was one thing I was worried about. The shots were off. He looked a little clunky at times trying to get to his spots.
Yeah.
But he didn't look slow. There's that one stretch in this second quarter where there was he had 3 shots made over him, and then had the foul on Halliburton where that's the only part where he kind of looked a little slow. But other than that, way to tough it out. 37 minutes. The over-under in our chat was at 28.5 for Damian Lillard tonight. And he plays 37 minutes after coming off a blood clot. So not enough nice things about the effort Dame gave tonight. He's only a -7, so props to him for that. Other than that, Jericho, get some spider tack on your hands, please.
Everyone, honestly.
Get some from Jose Quintana or something, or I don't know what you need to do, but
yeah, Bucks did not to get back on the negative Nelly train, but 15 turnovers on the night, spread pretty evenly, and Indiana only with 8.
Yeah, but
and that's where they were able to cash in points.
Yeah.
What do you do? What's the Kevin Porter Jr. thoughts?
Hell tier. No. I think Doc has to stop being so rigid with everything, and that obviously included his rotation tonight, and not necessarily related to Kevin Porter Jr. But that possession, I think the Bucks were they. It was after the Nesmith free throws. They leave Kuzma out there, and the Pacers just give him a wide open 3, and he obviously bricks it because that's what Kyle Kuzma does. You have to be smart enough. You can have an opportunity to sub on a free throw, and I think they still had one more timeout too. So it's if you don't want to put in AJ because you think he'll get broken up or beaten by Siakam, throw Taurean Prince out there. I'd much rather have Taurean Prince take that open 3. It's he's a good shooter. Good shooters are going to miss. That's just going to happen. But to actually answer your question, Kevin Porter Jr., the stat line doesn't say it. He had 9 points, 3 assists, 3 turnovers. 4 of 9 for the field, 1 of 2 from 3, which was a crazy quarter-ending buzzer beater. Was atrocious. He had one, I think he was trying to throw a lob to Giannis, and the pass went straight off the backboard, which I think led to like a 3 for the Pacers or something. I can't remember exactly what happened. He just looks completely out of sorts. Like he is clearly showing he's never played in a playoff game before, and he's just trying to do too much. So you can't completely bench him because you need a backup guard for Dame.
And apparently it's not Rollins.
I guess not. Like I don't understand it. Like how can you like trust a guy to be in your starting lineup one day and then it's like, oh, our actual starting point guard's back. Let's not play the guy we're starting. Like I get the whole idea of like you want Kevin Porter Jr. to come off the bench. That makes total sense. But I just don't know. And honestly, I feel like this is just going back to game 1 for a second. Like, why are you putting like 4 non-scorers next to Giannis in your starting lineup? If that's the situation when you start Kevin Porter Jr. or Gary Trent to get some more offense in that starting unit. So now that you got Dame, you need another guy. You need a third creator because that's not Kuzma. That's not him. That's not his game. So
could be. No, it couldn't be.
No.
And it is interesting because like we want to bring the conversation to TP, one of those guys. Like we keep saying he can shoot, and that he can shoot, like you say, catch and shoot. Does that just not transfer to the playoffs? Is that why like all Bucks shooting guard, and not a shooting guard, but what's the value of a catch and shoot player in these sorts of games, as opposed to the fact that AJ and Gary can do the dribble handoff, they can kind of dribble a little bit to create their own shot, and you can't get that as much from Torian, and it just means that essentially he's there behind the 3-point line, and you pass him the ball and he shoots, and just it doesn't add much to the offense. And like obviously, when he had those opportunities in the regular season, he made them an incredibly high clip. That's great.
Mm-hmm.
He's not giving you much else. And if that specific opportunity isn't going to be presenting itself as much in the playoffs,
yeah, no, you're right. It's like defenses are going to tighten up. Like if nothing else, his presence just brings at least gravity to provide spacing, which you always need with Giannis on the floor. Like if nothing else, he's a decoy. Like you don't want to leave him open.
It even sounds like abstract. It's like provide gravity, space-time continuum. It's like,
no,
it's like you can see the ripple in the space-time. That little divot, that's Torian.
Oh
like
my
when
god!
You start bringing metaphysics into it, then I see his import. But give me the bench guys. Thank you.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I think at the end of the day, he's just kind of like he's just kind of standing there. He's like he's like getting overshadowed by like how bad Kuzma was in game 1. Like he's literally just running up and down the floor doing cardio and standing at that point. So he, like you said, he doesn't really do anything off the dribble. He can barely execute a dribble handoff at times. So it's tough because he is still somewhat of a capable defender. But again, you're playing him out of position in the starting lineup. Stop playing him as a 2. He's not a 2. Like I never go to NBA 2K for accuracy when it comes to positions.
But
this is the one time where it is. He is a small forward. Kyle Kuzma is a power forward. Stop it.
I have said my piece. Are there final words that you would like to leave Bucks Nation with?
So we've talked a lot about obviously like starter changes, all that kind of thing. What is one thing outside of the starting lineup the Bucks need to do to win game 3?
And that's not fair because the outside of the starting lineup fix includes pretty much the entire bench. You know, I'm gonna default here. I'm gonna defer here.
Mm.
It's coming home. Ain't no crowd like the Milwaukee crowd, and specifically, you know what they say? Win for Cream City. That's on the shirt. We're not winning for Indianapolis. No. We are back in Cream City, which everyone calls it. And I think that to truly embody the win for Cream City ethos, I think we need to be reconnected to the screaming faithful that will be at the Fiserv on Friday. And as I told Jack, basketball is not a game of tactics; it's a game of vibes, and we got to get the vibes back. So I'm gonna to answer your question. I'm gonna go with
the sixth man.
Yes.
Oh my god, that's awesome. Yeah, I think the last thing I'll end with is a couple of things. One, I will say the zone worked a lot better here in game 2 than it did in game 1. I liked a lot of the looks.
Yeah,
it kind of helped in that second quarter when the Bucks got it down to 4 points before halftime. So that I did like the zone usage. To answer my own question of what they need to do, I would say there was a stat they showed. They just need to move the ball more. It has been the thing I've beating the drum about since the first regular season game I went to as a reporter at Pfizer Forum. Every time there's always, unless they like absolutely blow a team out or like have a crazy assist night, every loss I can come back to is because they don't pass the ball. Lots of ISO. Like let's take a look at it tonight. 26 assists on 44 made shots. Indy 30 on 44. So much better than game 1, but you got to move the ball. There were so many possessions where it's like Dame takes a long 3, Brook takes a long 3. That one play where Kuzma gets the offensive rebound and shoots a corner 3 with 12 seconds on the shot clock. Like, you have to generate looks. The big complaint from game 1 was Giannis is just getting to the free throw line, and that's the only offense we can do. I saw more in terms of actually generating looks. Keep that. Like, keep pushing towards that. Keep generating looks. And I'll put this out there as well, because I think Van was just talking about it in our chat as we're talking. The Bucks have better luck coming home when they're down 0-2 instead of up 2-0. This is we don't want a repeat of 2019. We want a repeat of 2021. That's, I mean, if you're talking about a vibe shift.
They were 2-0 up at home and then went on the road. I will echo. What I will echo is that, you know, that we just need. There's the button. There's not just the 6-man button, but there's like the button of like things that work. And we have data, especially now through 2 games, of what has been working. It is just incumbent on Doc to, I don't know, hit that button. Like,
and the nice thing is about that too is now that you have Dame back, you basically are replacing Kevin Porter Jr., who was obviously, we talked about, was bad tonight. You switch out Kevin Porter Jr. for Damian Lillard in that closing lineup with AJ, Gary, Giannis, and Bobby. That was the lineup that, outside of, they threw Kuz in there to guard Siakam, which gave up a wide open 3 after they got back within 2. So say what you will, but
I will.
Minus Kuz in that lineup, because he wasn't doing anything offensively in that fourth quarter during that run. That lineup got them back into the game. I think Doc needs to trust AJ Green more. I think he had 1-2 shot attempts all night. Trust AJ Green, trust Gary Trent, And obviously you've earned the trust for Bobby, Giannis, and Dame from game 2. So let's roll with that. See what happens. Like, let Brooke come off the bench and see what happens.
Sounds good to me. Let's do it.
Yeah. But yeah, we will have coverage for game 3. We will have a preview coming out Friday morning. Game thread as always. Gabe, since it's in Pfizer, Gabe will be live at Pfizer Forum with all the game day coverage. So be on the lookout for his rapid recap right after the buzzer, extended recap the next day, and of course, playback stream and another instant reaction pod. Crew to be determined on that, but make sure to check all that out. Head on over to brewhoop.com. Check our socials. Head to the playback channel. Become a member. All that kind of good stuff. Go to the blue sky. Go
Become
to the blue
a member.
Hey, it's not like becoming. What's that?
Do we have membership?
Well, that's what you're called when you join a room. You're a member of the room. So that's essentially what they call it. So unfortunately, we're not doing paid membership for like.
Yeah, sorry, you were cooking.
No, you're good. But for this instant reaction pod, once again, Bucks lose 123-115 down 2-0 in the series against the Indiana Pacers. We'll see you Friday.